The general horoscope for the zodiac sign of Taurus for October 2022 predicts a prosperous season, though to maximize prospects, representatives of your sign must work hard. In any case, for you, dear Taurus, events and achievements of this period will be counted for good. Venus, the ruler of your sign, will dominate the celestial ribbon, which will bring benefits in many areas of your life. You can quickly deal with pressing issues and free up time for large-scale projects. For this reason, negotiations, meetings, and business trips can be planned for October. This is a good time to network and socialize, but be aware of your emotions, which may interfere with your focus at this time. And in both directions, sometimes a lack of feelings and sincerity can also become a problem. Specifically for your sign of difficulty, Mars can create, which is responsible for the exaltation of Taurus. This means that there is no conflict. But if the situation is out of control, you should act quickly and decisively. This is not the time for equivocal illusions. Do not let things take their course that can be resolved here and now. The horoscope for the first 10 days of October 2022 for those born in the constellation Taurus indicates a high commercial potential. The probability of failure is associated with the activities of former allies. If you don't understand what it is all about, think it over and think about it one more time. Perhaps in your case, everything is a little more complicated than it seems. If you work for yourself, try not to neglect someone else's opinion. Any advice can be important and appropriate, even if it seems to you that this advice comes from an incompetent person. Looking at the problem from the outside can help find a solution even for a difficult situation. If you work in an office, become a source of initiative yourself. Be doubly attentive to those who are trying to impose their will on you. This may give you an edge in the long run, but don't overdo it. Remember that everyone has their own motives, and if they do not coincide with yours, this is normal. In terms of personal relationships, be yourself. Do not wear a mask, even if you really want to. Mid-October 2022 suggests that the representatives of the Taurus zodiac sign will not be as flexible as circumstances dictate. Loners will be influenced by many factors at once, and this will be difficult for Taurus. If you try to take into account every nuance, you will simply break down, unable to withstand the load, and finally, as a result, all your undertakings will collapse, unable to sustain overhead costs. So it's better to stay where you are right now. Although situations without subtext will not develop, this will be to your advantage. For family Taurus, stars are advised not to try to directly influence others, especially those members of your close circle with whom you are in intimate relationships. If you need a loved one to do something, just offer and argue your position. It is useless to insist now completely without arguments. It is important to plant the seed of an idea, and if it grows, you will get what you want. If not, don't get hung up, move on. In terms of finances, the middle of the month speaks of the likelihood of falling into the hands of scammers. Be doubly careful with electronic payments if the offer is suspiciously tempting and comes from an unknown source. The last 10 days of October 2022 for Taurus implies the need not only for a growth point, but also for fundamental changes in one of the areas important for your development. On the work front, act not in the way you are used to, but in a way that will be more effective. This time is great for self-improvement in all aspects. There will be no forbidden tricks. But there will be tools that your conscience will not allow you to use. In terms of personal relationships, beware of unexpected acquaintances. They will have a subtext, something that will be hidden. If you are not ready for change, do not take a step forward even though you have room to maneuver. In general, it is not always more profitable to act bluntly, although potentially, circumstances will incline you to do just that. At some point, you can still play someone else's role if it brings you satisfaction. But not out of selfish interests. The surrounding world will now be extremely sensitive to such situations.